Welcome back to another Rockford UFS deck profile. Today we're going to go over a fire deck featuring Liu Kang and combo attacks. Let's go over Liu Kang first. 6/26, death, fire, water. Twice per turn after you play a combo attack, your opponent adds the top card of their deck to their card pool face down. That's very important because if you block reversal with a combo attack like Nero Fatica or Shirai Ryu can, they have to add, they basically clog their pool, so they're playing on +1 progressive for the rest of the turn, and your reversals are harder to block. So that's a really good plus with Liu Kang. And then he has an E, discard the top X cards of your deck, add one combo attack discarded this way to your hand. X equals the number of cards in your opponent's card pool. So you could do that on all of your attacks, all of your opponent's attacks. There's nothing more demoralizing than your opponent playing an attack, you discard the top card of your deck, and it's like a fatality or a windmill punch, or like if you need a low block, Liu Kang's Fireball is a fantastic block with +0 low. So yeah, you kind of see the lights go out in their eyes, yeah, he's fantastic. He's my favorite character out of the set. I think he's it goes Quan Chi, then Liu Kang like right below him. Quan Chi, I believe, will eventually be banned after a while, if he runs rampant enough. But I think there's ways to beat him. This deck plays actually only has like one real way to beat him. The Death version has a couple extra ways just because it has a Novitiate and Bang. So let's get into the deck with the attacks. We're gonna sort this by difficulty first and go lower difficulty to highest. So we play 3 Fatality. It's a combo attack. I highly doubt you'll ever get the Deadlock combo off, but what's really good is that you can play this first. You can activate your R, the R on Fatality, and then the R on Liu Kang to stuff a card, and then you can just do anything you want during that because your opponent cannot play abilities during this attack. So they can't cancel anything and all that fun stuff. So you get to mill cards, you get to tutor for anything you want. You know, maybe use the Saw Blades beforehand, or you just get speed, or Yin Yang, homemade explosives if you need to just blow up a foundation. Blow up an asset, whatever. It's in the sideboard. So it's a good I guess all around utility card. It's basically a 3-check action. So if you think you can facilitate a 3-check action, which Liu Kang can because it actually synergizes with his abilities, so I think he and Takeda are a couple of the characters who can really maximize Fatality out. We're playing 3 Ken's Tatsumaki. Combo attack is really good, especially if you don't have to search for like a zone or a card type. Well, this is a card type, so zone would be the best, or like a keyword or whatever. It gets you extra damage. You're gonna have you're gonna have momentum with Fatality, and then this also allows you to pump damage a bit. Liu Kang kind of lacks damage because a lot of his attacks are 3 damage. Moving on to Shien Kyaku. Excuse me. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 mid attacks. So if you happen to get some momentum and you pick the right, and if you're a UFS player, you know to track your momentum, so you're able to pop your momentum out, get extra damage, and add it to your hand. On top of getting Liu Kang's E, so you're just filling your hands with attacks. It has a great mid block. It's a good mix-up. So you have 1 high in Shirai Ryu and 1 low in this. The rest of them are all mids. And it's the X2, so if you have some extra damage put onto it, you could try to pump speed. Shirai Ryu it's a reversal combo attack on fire, which I think fire has like 1 or 2. Well, it has 1 here. Then I believe the Mad Pro card is another reversal, so it has a couple of fire reversals now, so yay for fire. You get to stack a card on top of your deck, so if you need to make a check or you want to draw for Liu Kang's ability, you could stack any card, and then you get 3 speed or damage with this card. It also allows you to stuff cards into your opponent's card pool on their turn. What's really a beating is if you are able to Shira Yukan, and then you yin and yang. So it's 3 cards into their card pool, which basically ends their turn for the most part. Some bread and butter cards. We got Liu Kang's Fireball. Breaker 1, really good low block. Basically, the combo E is Liu Kang's R. And then you can stack, after you mill all the cards with Liu Kang, you can add 1 card, the top card of your discard pile, to the top of your deck. Funny thing is about Liu Kang's ability, you technically discard them all at once, so you can choose the order they land in your discard pile, so you could stack a 6 on top of your discard pile to stack a 6 on top of your deck, which is pretty sweet. Some neat stuff I learned from Clint Badger at Worlds, playing Fae. Windmill Punch, another kill card for Liu Kang, gives all 3 damage attacks plus 1 damage, and after a multiple copy of an attack resolves, you may discard it. So if you Windmill Punch for multiple 3, you get to discard of the multiples. You can combo itself into the pools, the extra damage, and then another combo is you may add, you can choose any card on top of your, any card in your discard pile that's stacked at the top of your deck. So you can put a 6 or an attack, so you can just facilitate more beatings. Deck plays 3 Saw Blades. This is the 1 card to really the worst matchup for this deck is Quan Chi, because his R triggers every enhance, and Liu Kang can't kill anybody without enhances. So you need to be able to commit that character or seal him in any way, but unfortunately I believe this may be the only version of character committal or seal that Fire has currently. There may be a couple others. I haven't done too much digging. I built this and then pretty much moved on to the Death version because I believe that version is more superior. But you can F-flip, commit 1 card in your opponent's staging area. It has a great high block. The speed thing, that's alright. You're going to be shoving like 2 to 3 cards or more into your opponent's card pool every turn when you're attacking. So speed really doesn't matter for the most part. Oh, excuse me, I'm tired. Moving on to the actions. Yin and Yang, I believe this is a 4X in every Liu Kang build. This card facilitates his E. It's also a very good block at a +1 mid, and it clears itself on block, and you get to add a combo attack from your discard pile to your hand. So it sets up backswing turns, which is great. But I resolve usually 1 of these every turn too. My testing has shown that this card just beats people. It's just awesome. It just stuffs 2 cards. So you are with Liu Kang. Your opponent gets a response, and then if they pass, you just yin and yang, and then you're sitting with 3. So you're already discarding 3 up top of your deck every time on your first attack, which is great. We're moving on to foundations. We're going to start with the spam. We got 2 No Surprises, 0/6. It's just to fight top deck abilities like Plant Man, Takeda, anyone who plays Merciless Master, so they stack the top of their deck. Liu Kang has stuff. Liu Kang's Fireball, Windmill Punch, that stuff stacks the top card of your deck. So if you don't want them to check a 6 or draw an attack, you just mill it. Catherine's Discontent. After an attack is played with keyword rating is played, it gets +2 or -2 damage. Really all we're looking at is Windmill Punch, Liu Kang's Fireball, Shinkyaku, I guess, and Kensatsumaki. So that hits a bunch of stuff. So it adds extra damage onto your attacks, or if someone is attacking you, you can negative damage by 2. God of War. This is a spicy 1X throw out to Mark Slam Wisniewski. He loves this card, and I can see why. You can commit this to pass a check, and then blow it up later as it's committed to get +1 to your check, so it's not a dead card. And you can destroy other foundations as well, so it keeps you under deadlock, which a lot of people are usually fighting to not go into deadlock. So it's a good one-off. Police Connections. It's another 6 check. Protects your other foundations from being flipped from spiders or other abilities. It has a very, very good mid block, and like I said, it's 6 check, so you can stack it. Another 1/6. Fires a bunch of 6 checks. It's pretty nuts. Has a mediocre block at +3, but it has a really good E. If your opponent has at least one face-down card in their card pool, this attack gets +1 or -1 damage. So if you are on the offense, you get +1 damage, and if you're able to block, reverse, and stuff a card in their card pool, you can give them -1 to damage to all their attacks, which is pretty sweet. Some tech cards, Celestial Beam. Got this at a 3 of. You do play 1 reversal, so you could get +3/+3 if you get the momentum going. Or basically it's in there just to stop committal effects. What else? Saw Blades, I guess. Bebop Blues commits your character because you just spam lose E, so you don't want them to commit your character. Also, it protects you against heavy stun decks, and this allows you to have some comfort that you don't have to really worry about getting tapped on your offensive turn. Action Superstar has a nice low block at a 2+. E-commit your next attack with printed 3 or less damage. 3 or less gets 3 damage. So this works on multiples too, because it has printed damage of 0. You also have a Windmill Punch, Fireball, Shirayukan, and Shinkyaku, the other 2. This doesn't do damage, so you don't have to worry about that, but this is a 4, so you can't do that. But its multiple will have printed 0, so you could technically give it +3 damage, and they're all combos, so they all get stunned. That's where is it right there. Yep, so you commit this, say, like on Fatality, and then you're able to, say you play a Liu Kang Fireball, it will get +3 extra damage and stun 1. It's pretty sweet. Overly Dramatic. One of the best cards in the format, stops pretty much everything that could decrease damage or increase speed, even when it's not meant to. So, sorry, Faye. And the Deadlock E is awesome. Like, again, no one ever really goes to Deadlock nowadays because you just die if you go to Deadlock. Failed Disagreement has a first F. Add the top card of your opponent's deck to the card pool face down. So it has a Liu Kang thing. And then if they have, if they're trying to clear stuff out of their card pool, you R flip and you add the top card. And it's basically Liu Kang's R, but on a foundation. It's playable while committed. Has a spicy +2 low block. Dark Emperor at a 2x. Destroy after your opponent plays a responsibility on a card in the card pool. Cancel its effects. So if they play like Prepare to Fight, Templar? Yep, Templar would work. Basically, Prepare to Fight's the big one, just because you don't want them to kick your multiples. So, and this deck kind of relies on multiples a bit for a kill condition, so you want to protect that. And you can see that, and once per turn, you can reveal a top card of your deck, so you get some top deck knowledge. Champion of Combat. To 2/5, +2 high. Your turn, commit. Your attack gets +X speed, +X damage. X equals the number of cards in your opponent's card pool. Deadlock E, your attack, you're at the top card of your opponent's deck to their card pool face down. It's a really good way to just start pushing damage with Liu, especially at the end of a string when you're kind of used his R twice already, and you've already used your Yin and Yang, and you're starting to pile in Liu Kang Fireballs. Your attacks just get massively huge. Yeah, I've put 10-10 on this before on someone. It's pretty sweet. Shaolin Fighter, we're borrowing some of Kung Jin's cards. Kung Jin's not so great, but his cards are pretty good. 2/5 +2 mid. Your turn, commit your combo or range attack. It's +3 damage or stun 2, which is nice. And then as Desperation E, discard 1 momentum. This attack gets -4 damage. There's no minimum, playable while committed. So that's pretty awesome. So you could use that on your turn to get stun 2 or 3 damage, and then you can start pitching momentum to give -4 to attacks. So that's a really great card. And to round out the foundations, Tim Keef's favorite card, Redeemed Rogue. It's a 2/5 +2 high. E, remove 1 combo or ranged attack from your discard pile. This attack gets +2 or -2 damage. So basically, for every attack you put into your discard pile, you get 2 damage or -2 damage. It's playable while committed as well, which is great. So there's another ability, the R flip. After your opponent plays an ability, destroys 1 or more of your foundations, cancel its effect. So that's pretty good. Foundation destruction is still prevalent, but it's not as bad as it was. no one's going to play self-destruct with this card on board, so you don't have to worry about that. But a couple thoughts about Liu. I haven't said before. He is very, very RNG dependent. For one, because you're just randomly discarding cards at the top of your deck. But if you can do top deck stuff to set it up, you increase your win percentage and the fact that you're just going to draw tons of attacks and kill your opponent. If you want to go into some block spreads, go to block zones. We're looking at 18 high, 31 mid, 11 low, 68 total cards, and 8 cards with no blocks. And that's in the foundations. All your attacks have blocks, which is really good. God of War, no surprises. Captain's Content, Dark Emperor, they don't have blocks. I only have 3 cards in the sideboard, which is Homemade Explosives, which is, the card's pretty nuts. Haven't really got, probably would put in some Jealousy and Fakes for the most part, and then maybe a couple other cards. But for the most part, Liu Kang is very, very fun. A lot of people don't like playing against him because they don't get to block or do anything, so I guess you're going to have to just find ways to not let him stuff cards. So, like, a good counter for Yin Yang would be Out of Your League or Chasing the Fight Money. Liu Kang, unfortunately, can only be stopped by Out of Your League. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, I have nothing else to say. Anyone got any comments, questions, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, if you have any questions or anything, please comment at the bottom. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll talk to you later.